So I often get the question, how did you get into personal branding and elevation? And in a nutshell, my career, I think everything, the trajectory of where I was going to end up started in 1999 when an amazing article in Fast Company magazine called The Brand Called You came out. And as soon as I read the article, I mean literally as soon as I read this article, it changed everything for me. I could literally feel the hairs on my arms stand up, because I understood with every fiber of my being what it meant to elevate a brand at that time. Like I said, I was working on Madison Avenue, I was writing for Burger King, I was doing commercials and radio and television and print for AT&T and Kraft, and I knew what it took to elevate a brand. So when you came into our agency, we had a copywriter, which I was. I had a partner who was an art director. We had an account supervisor. We had a creative director. We had a media buyer. We had a public relations person. And you had all of these people, the culmination of all these people coming together to take that specific brand to the next level. However, when it comes to people, that just did not exist. So here was this breakthrough article in 1999 talking about we need to start looking at ourselves like brands, and I knew that that was how I was eventually going to, the direction I was eventually going to go. So fast forward, it took a long time for, I would say, the country to start embracing the concept of personal branding. And I remember after I decided to come home about 8 years ago and start my own agency, my daughter being at the not the bookstore, but the bus stop, and being approached by one of the mothers who said, "I'm just curious, what does your mother do?" And my daughter looked at her and said, "Well, if you're right here, my mom takes you right here." So, needless to say, the lady was shocked, but ironically, she ended up becoming a client of mine. So I want to share this because the concept is something that most of you guys are probably not thinking about. Very few of us roll out of bed in the morning and say, "Oh my God, let me go hire a personal brand strategist." But the reality is, when it comes to personal branding, what we're talking about is, we're talking about your relationship, your reputation, what people are saying about you behind your back. And it doesn't matter if you're working in corporate America, you're sitting in the C-suite, it doesn't matter if you're in PTA and you're at home. Every single person walking the planet has a reputation. Unfortunately, most of us are not proactively positioning ourselves. What happens is most of us function in what's called a default. Meaning, if you encounter me on a great day and I'm working on the team and I'm bringing my A game, then more people are going to want me on their team. Meaning, if I don't, and I happen to be in a tumultuous time going in my relationship or having some issues with my boss, or I'm showing up inconsistently, then you have another perception of who I am and what I bring to the table. And what I want to show you is, just like the big brands, just like the Burger Kings and AT&Ts and Texacos and Reeboks, they don't have inconsistency depending on the day that they wake up. It's not Tuesday, January 12th, and all of a sudden, the stuff or the way that they're perceived in the marketplace. They decide, this is who we're going to be. We want to be the industry of choice for those who want burgers that are quick in the drive-through for your family under $5. And that continues to serve day in and day out. They know what they must deliver in order to maintain that reputation. What I want each of you to decide is how you want to be perceived in the marketplace, so that we can put things in place to make sure that those that encounter you have that perception.